Hey dolls, welcome back to another video. Now in today's video I am going to be going through my top most wanted Bratz dolls. Now you can see my beautiful Bratz collection here, and whilst I do have a lot of Bratz dolls, I don't nearly have close to a dent in how many Bratz dolls there are out here. So I am going to be going through a list of some of my most wanted Bratz that are highly coveted by me. Okay, so this list, by the way, is really in no particular order. It's just however I have put them in. I've tried to kind of group similar sort of dolls together. And if I've left anyone off of this list, maybe I didn't think about it, or I have just tried to not make this list like a million years long. Now, for my first set of girls on there, I do have all of the Formal Funk girls. I really would love them all. If I had to only pick one, it would be Sasha, but all of them are really high up on my list. I'm really hoping this is a one that they do a repro of. I just think they are so iconic. I would love to have all of the dolls that are featured in all of the movies. I had Dana as a kid, and my sister has Chloe. But they're both in such poor condition since we did have them as kids, and I would just love to have them again as an adult and actually look after them and take care of them. But obviously they're gorgeous. They've got these gorgeous formal gowns, so what's not to love about these girls? Okay, so next on my list is the Bratz Adventure Girls line. Look, I just always thought this was a really cool line. I like the idea of them being a bit outdoorsy and kind of having those, gorgeous camo tones mixed in with like all these nice pops of color like pinks and blues. I also loved reading the book in the Bratz little novel series where they actually go on an outdoor adventure, and you can just picture them wearing all these clothes. And I really love that book. I really love that story. I think it would have been really cool if it was turned into either a episode or either a movie. Probably more an episode, but I just think this was something a little bit different, and I do have a soft spot for the Adventure Girls line. So there's a bit of a theme with the next few dolls. So the ones currently pictured are the Wanted Girls. Now, I actually had Fiona as a kid. I just absolutely loved her. She was so pretty to me. I fell in love with her in store specifically because she had those, they're not quite pictured here, but these really gorgeous curls, which of course, over time kind of fell out with more and more play. I also loved these fashionable cowgirl boots that they were wearing. I love all of these dolls. I've only ever had the Fiona. She's in such poor condition now. So I'd really love to recollect them all. I think they have some really cute outfits. There's not a whole lot Western about them, I suppose, except for the fact that they're wearing these cowgirl boots. But I have put them in this kind of Western themed group. Next on my list in that Western group is Cowgirl Sasha. Look, the Cowgirls line isn't bad. I've just specifically picked Sasha out of this line because she is Sasha. She is my favorite. To me, she is the most gorgeous of them. Same with the Wild Wild West line. I have just picked my favorite from that line. I really like all these like kind of, I guess, cowgirl boots and hats. Same with rodeo. I've picked my favorite out of the line, which is Yasmin. For these ones, I don't necessarily want the whole line, but just my favorites. Rodeo, I feel like Yasmin is the most iconic of the group. I love this little long skirt she's got going on. I think a long skirt with cowboy boots is a really cute outfit. And my main reason for liking and choosing Western fashion is because I'm a horse girl. I love riding horses, if you don't already know. I go horse riding every single week. I love my own pair of cowgirl boots, not fashion ones though. They are legit cowgirl boots to work and ride in, although I just ride, not work in them. But that's mainly my reason for choosing these girls. And next on my list is all of the Bratz the Movie girls. I don't have any of these girls. I really, really wish I did. I absolutely love this line. Like, I love and adore Bratz the Movie. I feels like it's just one of those feel-good movies that is my favorite go-to Bratz movie, even if it's not my favorite Bratz movie. But I love that they did a live action. I feel like they cast it really well. Obviously, I would just love a gorgeous gown to begin with, and I feel like they all had these amazing gowns. I remember seeing these dolls as kids and seeing the real life cameras that came with them, and I just thought they were so cool. And I was like begging my mum to get one, but I never did end up with one. So I would love to collect the whole set for such a great movie. The next lot of girls is a couple different mixed dolls, so I really want the whole Genie Magic line. I'd like to say except Sasha because I do actually already have her, but I wouldn't mind getting just the doll alone of Sasha in a better condition because her clothes I have is fine. But the Genie Magic dolls, again, another movie doll that I would love to have. Such a iconic movie. I love all of the clothes they wear, their first and second outfits. I have a very special story about getting the Genie Magic Sasha. I honestly never would have ended up with her, except I entered a colouring competition that the local toy shop was hosting. The first prize was actually tickets to go see Bratz the movie in cinemas, and you got to like ride in a limo. Obviously, I didn't win that, as you would have already heard a story time about that if I did. But runner-up prize, which I didn't even know there was a runner-up prize, was a Bratz doll, and it happened to be Genie Magic Sasha, which is just so cool to me. I'm like, to have a Genie Magic doll at all, but to have them pick a Sasha for me, iconic. And then my next dolls in this group is the Desert Chills dolls. I feel like they just go hand in hand because it's from Genie Magic 2. I know there are some other Desert Chills dolls released. I do have Chloe from the other series, but I just really prefer these two girls from this little series because I feel like they are closer to movie accuracy. It's kind of weird how they released two different versions of them and not really super movie accurate either, but I do love the outfits that were featured in Desert Jules 2. Desert Jules 2 is such an underrated movie, and I feel like it's because it was at the tail end of Bratz's popularity, so not a lot of people are even that aware of its existence or watched it more than once, but the songs, the fashion, the movie, the message is all just amazing. So next on my list are the class Bratz dolls. I feel like these are so highly coveted by everyone. And you know, of course, there's a reason for that. Like, these are just such an iconic TV series, Bratz. They also make me think of the games as well, and like Forever Diamonds and Bratz the movie, where the high school fashions or the high school refresh fashions. But I would have just loved and just to be able to wear a uniform as cool as this, even though it's not necessarily the Styles High uniform, but just a uniform the girls created for themselves. It's definitely a much loved line by everyone, and there's a reason for that, as I said. It's just iconic from the TV series, and it would be so great if I could eventually have them all, or even just a Sasha having my favorite, but definitely a line I really, really want to collect. Next on my list is the Bratz Princess line. Now, I've included a group photo because it's easier that way, but I actually already have Roxy and Yasmin in very good condition from my childhood, so I mainly just want to get Fiona, Chloe, Jade, and the Wicked twins. Sometimes I feel like some of these dolls, like the Wicked twins, people just want because they just want the rarest doll. They don't even care what it is. But I do remember seeing the Wicked twins in Kmart when I was a child, and I begged my mum for them. I wanted them so much. My sister was like begging on my behalf too, like we thought they were so cool. Unfortunately, I never ended up with them, but I'm so glad I got the princesses that I did get, because they're just such a rare line. I would really, really love if they did re-release this line. I mean, I just love this line. I love everything, the idea of being a princess. I love the idea of dressing up, wearing, gowns and tulle and glitter and sparkles and, gorgeous heels and tiaras and whatnot. And so I think this is just such a beautiful line. Yeah, Fiona is definitely my most wanted out of them. I have always loved her so much. I love dressing the girls up in these fashions in the PS2 game, and I also love when they make their brief appearances in these fashions throughout the TV series. So definitely high up on my want list, but I'm definitely thankful for the two girls that I have. Okay, and next on my list are, of course, the iconic Sweet Dreams girls. Look, I know everyone's like, oh, Felicia, right? You want Felicia. Look, I don't mean to brag, but I do already have her. Look, I have loved Felicia before the rest of the fandom just loved her purely because, I don't know, she's special. Well, this was my very first Felicia I had, and I got her when I was a little kid. I still have her, her arms dislocated from its socket because I loved her that much. I just played with her all the time as a kid, so she's in a bit of rough condition. But I would love to collect the whole 90 Night series. I love when they wore these outfits in Genie Magic. I just think they're just such fun outfits. I love all the different colors. I love the vibes, the patterns. We got hearts and stripes and spots, and I just think it's a really nice, bright fashion. I have grouped these together because they're sweet dreams. So they kind of wear these as pajamas in Genie Magic. They wear them at their sleepovers. I don't know. They're not the most comfortable looking pajamas to me, but I've grouped them in with the other sleepwear Bratz dolls that I want, which the next would be Nighty Night dolls. I want the whole series of Nighty Night dolls. Again, Fiona is one of my most coveted ones from this, and she's quite common to find. I don't know why I haven't bought her, I just haven't, but I really love all these Nighty Night dolls. I love their fashions, again, even though it's just sleepwear, but I still feel like they did sleepwear with style, and not many people can say that. I'd always wanted me to have like a cool sleepover, lots of friends where I could have cool sleepwear to dress up in, and but anyway, I just wear my pajamas to be comfy. And lastly, just this lone Sasha from this kind of later, many years later, maybe it wasn't even that many years later, but Nighty Night kind of series 2. These are definitely the kind of stylish pajamas I would want if I was to have a styling sleepover where you wore styling pajamas. I'm definitely a leopard print girl. I've been a bit too crazy with leopard print when I was younger, but I still do love a splash of it here or there now. But I always just thought it was really cool how the Bratz made sleepwear so stylish, and that's why I would love to collect all of these dolls. Okay, so next on my list is the 2018 collector dolls, both Jade and Yasmin. They are on my list because I've already got Sasha and Chloe, and I just really loved this year. It was so cool to finally have Bratz return. I think they just did a really iconic line of dolls that truly lived up to what Bratz stood for in their fashion, each of their individual styles. I think all of these outfits looked really great. I think Hayden did a very good job at designing these dolls while like keeping them true to themselves, whilst also still kind of trying to embrace modernism, which is, Bratz's sole goal in life apparently. But I really did love these dolls, so I would love to just complete the collection and have all of them. Next on my list is the Girls Really Rock dolls. Again, another amazing movie, another amazing movie line, another movie line that I really want. I love the Girls Really Rock movie. I can't stand usually a lot of musical movies, but the Bratz put out some really great songs with this one. All of the outfits are just so true to each Bratz's personality, and I just think the girls look so gorgeous here. If I was to get the Sasha, I'd be changing her into her gold jumpsuit that she wears in the movie because I don't know why she's wearing this white outfit, and she's always wearing this white outfit because she didn't wear it in the movie unless that's what she was originally supposed to be wearing. But just an iconic movie, another iconic movie line, so that is why I would like to collect the Girls Really Rock dolls. So next are the Bratz Fashion Pixies dolls. Now I have only included the ones that I don't have because I do have some already. So I do already have the D and sorry, not Cymbeline, since she wasn't made into a doll. Brianna, I should say. D and Jade. These were just randomly acquired ones apart from D. D was a gift. I can't remember if I have a birthday or Christmas, but she did come from my sister, I believe. So I've included the ones that I don't have because I would love to get the whole Fashion Pixies collection. I know some people are very split on this, and look, I hear they are making a repro, and honestly, I wouldn't be mad if they looked like these dolls or if they were movie accurate because I still really love these dolls. I love how they look. I definitely think a movie accurate one would be really cool to have, but I also still do have a soft spot for these dolls. I would really, of course, love to have the Sasha the most. I just love, like, obviously Sasha's my favorite, but I do actually really love the color schemes on her outfit the most too. Fashion Pixies is my favorite movie of all time, from the Bratz. So, and it was also one of the first Bratz movies I ever saw. So there's a lot of memories associated with this. And of course, I just love magic. I love fairies, pixies, you know, the idea of flying, and you gave her wings. But truly an iconic doll and series. I only wish that they had have made. I mean, it would have been cool to one have Cymbeline. I never got why they made D and not Cymbeline. Although I really love Dee's color scheme for her doll too, and also why Lena is not a black hair with red streaks and she's just a straight up redhead is strange to me. But anyways, I still want all of the dolls, and I would love to one day complete that collection. Alright, so next I have put together just a group of winter themed Bratz. Of course, starting off with the iconic Campfire Bratz dolls. Again, I loved the Campfire episodes of the TV series. Another iconic themed outfit. I do really love even though I hate winter, I love the idea of cute winter fashions, even though I also don't wear cute winter fashions because I don't leave my house in winter because it's too cold. But I love the Campfire series. I also love the Winter Wonderland series. Like, I just love all these cute, you know, leg warmers and fuzzy boots and beanies and just cute vests and coats and jackets. And I love the color scheme of Winter Wonderland, and I love their makeup too. So, of course, I would love to collect all of them. And then from the Winter Girls series, I would love to have both the Phoebe and the Sasha from this series. Again, it's just that ongoing theme of I love winter fashions when they're so, you know, cute and fluffy and warm and just look like they'd be cozy. Honestly, you're wearing a skirt and tights, it can actually be a bit cold, but it still doesn't mean I don't think they just look all so gorgeous in the series. So I love just my Campfire, Winter Wonderland, and Winter Girls dolls, and I would love to collect them all. I also have just this lone Sasha here from the Wintertime collection. Now, there's also a few different girls in this line, but you know, I just picked my favorite. To be honest, these ones are kind of like all copies of each other, so I'm like, let's just pick my favorite, which is of course Sasha. But I do really love this gold coat that's fur lined. Very pretty, very cool. I love that it comes with a little sled. So yeah. And lastly, in this winter theme, I have got two ice skating dolls. As you know, I used to do ice skating. I just don't have the time for it anymore, especially now that my hobby these days is horseback riding, but I still love ice skating. I still think ice skating dolls are gorgeous. I have a big collection of Barbie ice skating dolls, and I also have all of the on ice dolls or ice champion dolls except for Maribel, hence why she is on the list. And also just this random play sports Chloe, that's an ice skating one. She's come out in a few different variations of boxes. Box doesn't really matter. I would just like the doll. Alright, and next on my list is like collector dolls edition. So I would just love to collect both of these Bratz World dolls. I already have the Kumi, so it's just cool to get the Tiana A and Mei Lin. I don't believe these two ever sold in Australia. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I definitely remember the Kumi when she came out. I just about lived, breathed, and died for that doll. Again, another one that I begged my mum for, but so did my sister, and I think the fact that it was going to cause a huge fight, because I definitely would have sucked if I didn't get it as a kid, that my mum decided that no one could get it then because there wasn't someone that would have relinquished in that fight. So I never got it as a kid, but thankfully my wonderful best friend and admin of this page got her for me a few years ago. I still have her in her box. There's one of those dolls like, oh, she has to stay in her box. The box is just a gorgeous detail to these dolls. And lastly, I would also love to get this Holiday Trinity doll. I just love the holiday dolls, all of them. I have the kind of new version of this with the Felicia. I did have both versions of Holiday Chloe in the red and purple dress, so I would just love to get this doll. I think my mum didn't like this one as much versus the Chloes that had come out in previous years, so she never got me this one, but I do still think she is really gorgeous, so I would love to have her. Next on the list is the remaining Forever Diamonds dolls that I do not have. I already have Sasha, Chloe, and Jade, so I just need Sheridan and Yasmin. Look, Sheridan has just been my most wanted one ever since the movie came out. I love her the most because I just love her red shrug and shirt. I love her little red theme she has going on, but I'm definitely feeling blessed to have the dolls that I do have, and I would just love to complete this collection. Again, just another iconic movie collection. Next on my list is the Treasures Jade and Sasha. I mean, these are gorgeous girls, but I feel like a lot of people just covet them because they are so rare. But I just love the Treasures line in general. I do have the other three Treasures dolls, so I would love to complete this collection. I just absolutely love the color theme of Jade's, and of course I have to have Sasha. Sasha is always going to be my favorite, but I do love the purple theme of hers. I wish they had have used these outfits in the TV show. I think it's a little bit strange that they didn't, but anyway, I would just love to complete my treasures collection and have both these gorgeous girls as additions to that. Next on my list are the Feeling Pretty Jade and Sasha. I do actually already have the Yasmin and Chloe Feeling Pretty, which is why they are not on this list. Look, I just love the Feeling Pretty dolls. I love their faces, how they have such simple, gorgeous makeup. I kind of like the kind of smaller sort of closed eye look to them that they have, like the way their makeup is done. I love all of their outfits. I think it's just got this really casual but really gorgeous look to them both. Sasha just looks so good in the green in this outfit. But I would definitely really love to have the whole collection. I think it's just one that was quite simple. It wasn't, too overdone. And sometimes I think Bratz just really shine in some of their more simpler lines. Next would be Live in Concert Sasha. I already have the Yasmin and the Chloe. And look, I know everyone else loves the Neva and the Jade. And look, they're pretty dolls. And if I, found them for a cheap price, would I get them? Yes. But I really just mainly want the Sasha to complete kind of that little trio. And of course, I wasn't honestly the biggest fan of Live in Concert. Space Angels, whatever you would like to refer to them as. But then I got the other two, and I'm like, okay, I actually really love these dolls, so I definitely need the Sasha to complete that little collection, and of course I need my favorite from it. Next is Talking Bratz Sasha. Now, I absolutely love this doll. I think she's very sassy, and again, she's got that almost casual glam because she's got kind of a basic casual outfit, but she always glams it up with her jewelry and like that big fur shrug that she's got going on. Now, Shannon and I have some very fond memories with her own Talking Bratz doll that she has, and so I'm like, I just need to have my own Talking Bratz so we can make even more memories. But they were such a fun idea and concept for a doll, so I definitely want my own, and who else other than Sasha? Next is Ulala Chloe. I have the other two Ulala dolls, so I would love to complete this line. But of course, another iconic line. But I just love the Parisian fashion theme of this. I think this is a very cool line that they created. And I really do love the outfits that these girls wear. I love the whole pastel theme of the background of the boxes. And I also loved how they wore this fashion in the Paris episodes, which are also another iconic episodes of the Bratz series. So I definitely love this Chloe just to complete that collection of mine. Alright, next on the list is Midnight Dance Megan. Now, I have the other Midnight Dance dolls, so again, this is another one that, I just love the fashion. I love that they kind of did this gothic theme, but they still made it so stylish too. And so I would just love to complete that collection and have all of these gorgeous girls in it. I have Flower Girls Sasha on my list as well. Look, she's just gorgeous. I do have Flower Girls, I think they call them other names, but Flower Girls Jade because I don't know what her actual name is. But I love these dolls, not as much as Shannon, but I do just specifically love this Sasha. I love this gorgeous purple theme to her. I love these, really stylish, sparkly jeans they have going on. And of course, it's really cool that they came with real flower seeds that you could grow. Alright, next on the list is Pretty and Punk Megan. Another one that I bought the repros because, I just don't have time to search high and low for the originals and pay thousands of dollars for them. So I would just love the Megan to complete the series. I do have the Sasha from the new release in this re-release series. So I would just love Megan to complete this other iconic collection. Next is Bratz Cat's Sasha. She's kind of a lot later towards the end of Bratz's first kind of tenure. Look, I just purely want this because it is Sasha and it is cats, and I absolutely love cats. I have 3 myself. Cats are one of my all-time favorite animals. I'm studying to be a vet nurse and I hope to specialize in doing feline medicine, so just working with cats solely. And so that definitely is a good enough reason to want a cats themed Sasha. Now next is this iconic Sasha here. Look, I actually had her as a kid. She was my first ever Sasha, so the first ever one that I was like, this is going to be my favorite Bratz doll forever, and she has always been so. Of course, she's very iconic because she has the pieces for her OG TV series outfit, but I really want this mainly for the nostalgia of this was my first ever Sasha, the one that kind of started it all for me and cemented her as my permanent favorite. And lastly for my list, I have grouped together the Pampered Pups and Pampered Pets dolls since they're kind of all much of the same sort of series. Look, the Pampered Pups dolls are just gorgeous. They came in the most beautiful box. I already have Yasmin and Sasha is one of my all-time favorite dolls that I have. I love animals. As I said, I'm studying to be a vet nurse, so I love these puppy themed series. I love the fashions. They're just so gorgeous in these. I love that again, they're casual, but they keep it so glam with these little bits of gold and satin and jewelry and ribbons and whatnot. And so these boxes alone are gorgeous, but the dolls and even the puppies are gorgeous too. I love the Pampered Pets salon style, or Pampered Pups I should say, salon style. Again, it's just that mixture of amazing boxes, gorgeous fashions, and it's just these ones are definitely more on the glam side, even though you know you're probably working a lot harder when you're going to wash your pet. Look, I care less for the accessories, so I could honestly be just happy to get the dolls as they are out of box. But I still thought, like, I just love all of the outfits that they designed for this whole series. Every girl is just an absolute hit. They all look gorgeous. They all have these perfect clothes. I would have all of these in my wardrobe in a heartbeat. And lastly, the Pampered Pets dolls. Look, I love that movie. Along with Desert Jewels, it's definitely underrated because it was one of those ones that came out towards the end of Bratz's original popularity. But I love the Pampered Pets movie. It's hilarious. It's got some great songs in it. The girls just look absolutely amazing in that movie. Their hair is perfect. Their outfits are perfect in that movie. And of course, I just love the idea and the message of trying to find these animals homes. And I will never not be for that message. There's like a pet rescue book that they put out, the Bratz and their little novellas. Where Yasmin helps a animal shelter, well, starts to, but then of course all the girls get on board. So I love that book. It makes me think of these series. So this is absolutely one that I would just love to have every single doll associated with the Pampered Pups / Pets franchise. Lastly, as I close out this little video, well, not that little, it's quite long, but credits are due for the photos. None of these are my own photos, of course, because I don't have these dolls. I sourced all of these photos from Looking Bratz, so credits fully to them, and whoever they may have gotten the photos from as well. But yeah, most of these photos did come from Looking Bratz. Alright, thanks for watching, dolls. I hope you enjoyed hearing about all of my top most wanted Bratz dolls, and I'd love to hear about some of your highly desired ones that are top of your list. We will see you in the next video. Peace!